Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, smarks and marks all over the world.
Grab a seat or take it easy on your feet as we set up our gear. Lend us your ear.
Because your boys, King Mac, Millie, and J Klassick are about to put on some podcast action.
So get psyched and turn to the smart side.
Because Smark Psychology Podcast starts now.
Yo.
Lit morning.
It's the Echo. Yeah, you already hear the voices.
You know what it is.
Hear the tunes.
You know
it's
what it
early
is.
in the morning, so you know what we about to do.
You know what it is.
What is it? It's another episode of Smart Psychology.
Smart
Psychology. Episode number 3. Episode number 3, and we definitely bringing it in the right way. You know what I'm saying? The rebrand is real. You see the faces, you see the background. It's your boy, J Klassick, King Mac, in the place to be. How we doing? Talk to him, class.
Man, I am copaesthetic. I'm copaesthetic. Lit morning to you. What it do, man? It's your boy. It's him. It's the GM, the KL. Wait, no. I forgot. I quit that job. It's your boy, J Klassick. It's the KLASSICK. That's right. Your boy is just so sick with it. Man, how you feeling, man, Mr. Mac Millie, bro?
Man, I'm feeling all right. You know what I'm saying? The man of many names, you know, so many in the ball. But you know what always will remain? You see the crown, you see the championship. It is the money, it is the King Mac Millie in the place to be. Smart Psychology, there you go. I'm so psyched because it's time to get lit. Lit. Like, man, I'm feeling good today. I'm
feeling good? Feeling good? It's a lit Tuesday? You going down?
Yeah.
All right.
Why is it lit Tuesday? You know why it's a lit Tuesday?
Bruh, man, well,
Taco Tuesday! I'm mad I just did a LeBron, but it is Tuesday and it is taco time. So, yeah. Let me get this crown off my head so I can put my headphones on the right way. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't got to be sitting here like a DJ. There we go.
First of all, I still can't believe that LeBron tried to trademark Taco Tuesday. I'm like, bro, that's not even yours.
Oh wait, hold on. Taco Tuesday. But man, let's stop bullshitting and wasting time. You know what I'm saying? We got a nice interview, sit down, chop with the homie real quick, Snick. So as y'all coming in, go ahead and share that wherever it may be and jump in them comment sections. If we get something, we'll definitely ask a question or two if y'all got them for them. But if not, just sit back, chill, and enjoy the vibe. But you know what I'm saying? Ah, man, it's so many ways and so many words that I could just introduce this man. But I'm just going to throw this on real quick and see what it do.
Lucha lit.
Yeah. Ah.
That beat is so hard. That
It's
beat
so
is
hard.
so
Such a
hard. But
hard.
without further ado, I bring to you Mr. Lucha fucking Libre, Mr. Lucha, Mr. Lucha himself, Lince Dorado.
Damn, what a fucking intro. Intro was on, bro. That song slaps so hard. We
So
better be
hard.
talking about that song about it.
So
But,
hard, so hard.
Oh hell yeah.
Yo, my God, everybody, what's up? What's up? It's your boy, the most entertaining, the most interesting luchador of all professional wrestling, the 2010 and 2011, Mr. Puss in Boots, Lucha Lit, Lince Dorado. What's up, baby? What's up, Klassick? What's up, Matt?
Hey, what it
going
do,
on,
bro,
How
man?
you feeling this Taco Tuesday morning?
Shit, bro. I had all the tacos in Mexico. Give me the more. Give me more. Feed me more motherfucking tacos, please.
You want to know what I just did recently?
What's
I'm
up?
growing in my taco experience because when I was introduced to tacos, they weren't the proper tacos. So I had cheese on it, all that, everything. You know what I'm saying? How we do in the hood. But just recently, I had some carne asada tacos, and I've transitioned from the chicken because I always get chicken tacos. I'm like, let me get some carne asada tacos, right?
Wow, those tacos. Tell me about
I
it.
didn't have the onions on them because I can't get with onions, but sometimes I do. I'm growing on that part, but I did have the cilantro on there. And then out of nowhere, you know what I'm saying? I grabbed the lime and squoze the lime
have
all
to.
over and it just my mouth is watering right now as I'm talking about
Yeah.
it. Oh my God.
Then you gotta add, bro. You gotta add just a little onion. Even if you don't like it a little bit, it really does bring out the flavor in the meat, the carne asada, bro. Just a little bit. You won't even taste it especially with the cilantro. The lime literally cancels the taste out, but it does add, bro. I'm telling you, it really does add just a little bit. Just a little bit.
I've been adding onions to my ordeal a little bit more. What it is that I'm mentally allergic to onions, so it's just like it's a mental thing.
So
Once
what, your mental is allergic? So
yeah, I'm mentally allergic to things. And
I'm gonna start being mentally allergic to things like relationships and shit. I can't do it.
Wait, I need to know about this a little bit more. I know this is a Lince interview. I need to know about this. So since you're mentally allergic, that means like you just get like real like ignorant out of nowhere if you get
no, that's not what it is. Because I tell people all the time outside of God, the Most High, you are the first and last decider of you. Your mental, your brain is your most powerful tool in all of your extremities. So whatever you put your mental to, that's just what everything else follows. And it's just mentally, I tell myself I'm allergic to it and I don't eat it. Like I'm mentally allergic to coconut.
Okay, with the same thing, you could also tell your brain, I'm not allergic to it, and try it.
I definitely can, which is what I've been doing. It's like changing the mind frame of I don't like these things to just have a little bit of it. I mean, I've eaten weird things before, so onions.
Bro, I hate worms, these nasty ass worms in Mexico. This lady that was so nice to us, she took us out. She was working with the office for the company that me and my friends went out for, and she was like, she took us out to eat after the pyramids that were amazing. And she was like, you have to try this delicacy here. Like these, I forget what she called them. So I was like, yeah, we'll try them. Like, of course, none of us knew what it was called. I could speak Spanish, but their dialect is something a little bit different. So this particular word for worms, bro, I had no idea. When they brought this thing out, she had to send it back because it wasn't cooked enough. How can you cook, or how do you know if worms are cooked enough?
Were they deep fried? Because I've had fried worms before.
No, these were apparently fresh, nasty ass worms, mealworms that you would feed like your lizard and shit. And she sent them back, and they came back, and I was even grossed out. I was
so
like,
they was on the plate doing this shit, and you was just like, well, pick one.
They were dead. Now they were dead, but it was just like I could still smell them. So of course, me and like two other wrestlers had to try it, and I didn't want to be rude. So I had her try it first. She did this, took the little like the taco shell, grabbed it like nothing, put a little like guacamole and little beans. It was just like,
Just salt bathe the worms in there, like yeah. we're gonna
Ooh,
set
that's
this-
good. I was like, oh gosh, she made it seem so easy. Let me see if I can do it. I went to go, bro. As soon as I grabbed it, I was like, okay.
I don't know why,
Bro, I didn't
don't
put
know
it.
why.
I didn't put enough anything on it. I tasted
Didn't put
it.
enough lime. It was all worm,
Nothing.
just
Oh my god, it was
just all gooey
it was
intestines.
bad.
I mean, I had escargot one time in my life, but you know, I was in France, so you do it out there.
You have
know?
to try it, right?
Yeah.
You have to try
Yeah.
everything one time experience. It's one life. Just try it. But goddamn.
Yeah, never again,
Yeah.
though, right?
I don't know, but in my smart
Cricket.
mind, I'm thinking.
I don't know.
I don't know. In my smart mind, I'm kind of thinking that would have been a great opportunity to just be like, I'm the boogeyman. I don't know. I just
coming to
At
get
that mind, bro, I think I put it in my head that I was allergic, like mentally allergic to these
Yeah, I'm
things. So
mentally
I
allergic
had
to
no
worms.
room. I had no room to like entertain it. These weren't entertaining at all. I couldn't like insert a joke here to make myself laugh, to like distract myself that I'm about to eat these nasty ass worms with no guacamole, not enough beans.
nothing. You
And
had
I
a
just
chaser or nothing. Like
I didn't want to be a
water.
bitch and be like,
Yeah, I feel that.
yeah,
yeah.
in front of everybody looking at me. Like I felt like I had to show out and be first. But damn it, I paid the price.
Me first. Let me get this over with. And let me start it off.
For real.
Man, but before we get into the interview and everything, which I feel like we're pretty much already in it, I just want to say that we had the chance of meeting you at a PCW Ultra, you know what I'm saying, way out west. And dude, your vibe is definitely one to be appreciated, if not by everybody, those that are able to understand what your vibe actually is, because so down to earth, so cool, like literally one of the homies, you know. And I commend you for that, because not everybody has that type of spirit that could just automatically connect. Like you said, we were pressed for time and we couldn't like really make all the rounds and have the conversations that we wanted to, but you definitely took the time to come all the way from the other side of the building to come over to our table and make a visit with my godbrother, myself, and my nephew, his son, and things of that nature, and bring him some autograph things and figures and all that stuff. And it was just like, man, like you really didn't have to do that, you know what I'm saying? And you don't have to be here on this platform with us. So we definitely appreciate you and thank you for that, like for real.
I really appreciate that, man. And like growing up loving wrestling, you know, I saw a little man there, and I was like, you know, if he's here for a reason. He either really loves wrestling or somebody brought him that really loves wrestling. And growing up, I didn't really have a lot, so I went to like maybe 2 shows. Of course, sat in the nosebleed sections, but loved every moment of it. So I know it's important, and what my job brings is like, you know, I'm supposed to bring joy to everybody that walks through that door, and make sure that they have a good experience and want to come back to, you know, pro wrestling. So like when I met you guys, you know, and I try to be very make everybody very comfortable, especially like a guy in a mask. You get approached and you're like, whoa, it's kind of like, yeah, right. You're like, but to me, it's so normal. So like, I always try to treat people like as if I'm just a dude. Like if we're just talking like just dudes in a mask, and you know, but I'm just a human being, man. So like, I always try to treat other people like human being until they show me that they're not good people. Yep. And then that's,
you gotta bring the black force energy after that.
Sure, you already know, and I'm very happily and very quickly to do it. And you know, I'd rather not.
Yeah,
I love this quote that 50 Cent said. I love this video. Every time I find it on Instagram, I always have to like it and share it. He's like, I don't want no problems, but I don't mind problems. And I was like, damn, that sums up my life, you know. And I think you said it best, like when we were talking about earlier, getting yourself in the right state of mind, being like mentally allergic to these things. Like this is my most important weapon, man. And if I could like connect with somebody and know that they're either going to have a worse day than me, and if I could bring joy to them, then, you know, maybe help them change their mindset to have a better day, that I'll be happy that I know I did my job.
Definitely, man. Definitely. So we don't get too far off of it, and it's still fresh in our minds. You know what I'm saying? Who made that slapper?
Man.
All right, so that was made by John Karen. You could find that on Spotify, Apple Music. When I was in WWE, I pitched to have I knew they were gonna give me like some generic ass Latino music. They're like insert generic, right, whack, and I was like, damn. So I gave them this my original music. I gave them this Duke Nukem. Do you ever play Duke Nukem, the video game?
Nintendo 64, yeah.
All of them, right?
On the
So,
computer and everything.
yeah, I loved it, and I loved the theme song to Duke Nukem. I thought it was totally different. I was like, hey, I know I'm luchador, but like, you know, I don't come off as like the generic luchador just posing and shit. Like, I actually like to have fun. And when they gave me my music, man, I thought that was whack. So eventually went through my whole WWE career literally hating all my music. So when I left WWE, yeah, bro, I hated it. So when I left WWE, the first thing I wanted to do was have some different music that, like you said, slaps. So I ended up using the cough in the beginning was me, and me saying Lucha Lit, because I wanted everybody to eventually, once they get accustomed to my theme song, to say Lucha Lit before I come out. I thought it'd be fucking, you know, sick. And then before that song was made, I was using Necro's Get Your Fucking Head Split, because it's the same beat. It's the same style where it's like boom, 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 boom. And I was like, right, the head's bobbing. I felt like that song literally changed the whole vibe to the mood, the whole mood of the room. Like, I didn't even know you were gonna play it. And when you did it, bro, I legit, like, I started getting into like my wrestling, not character, because it's just me, but like fucking just like the vibe of
zone,
me,
that mode,
right? Like the zone.
Yeah.
And then I loved it so much that I was like, you know what? If I do these other shows like the CMLL or maybe Impact or whatever, I always want to come out to my music. No generic shit. No, nothing that's like, you know, not me. So I ended up hiring John Karen, who also did some AEW tracks. He's also done some other top indie guys. And I said, hey man, look, this is what I want. I'm going to literally give you my old song that has me coughing and Lucha Lit, because he wanted to change it. And I said, no, don't change that.
I need
Keep
that
it the
same
same
energy.
same energy. And then all I want you to do is just take the tempo of this song and just make it so I can use it everywhere and anywhere. And we came up with like one or two versions. And then actually one version had a miss up. And it was in the part where the guitar goes whammy. It was like, wow. Originally we didn't have that, but he had messed up when he was rendering it. And I was like, actually, you know what? Keep that. That's kind of like, I feel like, yeah, that like that whammy bar kind of like hits. And that was the final product, man. Like, you know, we came up with that song. He did. I didn't think it needed lyrics, because at the end of the day, I'm creating the old vibe. My whole entrance is like, you know, entertaining. And by the time we even start the match, like everybody's already having a good time. And I love it, man. So the song's called Lucha Lit. If anybody wants to get Lucha Lit and just hear it and just bump, I think I listened to it in my car today, like 5 times on repeat.
Man, having a personal session, like,
you already know. So I even had a text. I was like, bro, this song is not long enough. I need you to double it. Just like, just put it because
I need at least 10 minutes of this. Like
10 minutes, right?
I was playing it and I looked, I was like, damn, this joint almost 2 minutes, but this shit jamming. So I'm
this shit is going.
I want it to end. I don't, but nah, man, I love it, dude. I got to hear it today or this week in Arena Mexico, one of the best arenas in the world. And I fought for it because at first they were going to give me some generic shit too, thinking, you know, because they're a big company and they couldn't use copyright music. But I was like, hey man, this isn't copyright. This is my music. Like, and if you want the best version of me, you need to fucking put this song on. So bro, I listen to it and I love it. Every time it comes on, it just like really puts me in the right state of mind. You know?
Oh man, so we set you off right for this episode then.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you already talked about, you know, your interest music, which, you know, gets you in the zone already for your match, which is an awesome thing, because I just think about it, like that's the main thing that, you know, really gets you ready for your match, or, you know, for you not to like your interest music before your match, that's kind of not already a good space.
Man. And it was tough, especially because I wasn't the only one who didn't hate it. You know, my other partner didn't like it as well. And it was very forced. And then by the time the match started, I just felt like I still had to like warm up. I wasn't warmed up enough. Like even all the 10 hours of training before, or like the hour before warming up. I just still couldn't get into it. Like I don't think there was one match in WWE that I was like really like in the zone. You know what I'm saying? Like I was in the zone to perform, but not to like, damn, that's fucking
Really
what you
go
see,
out
what you
there.
saw. Yeah. What I was able to do in Cali, like I wish I was able to do in WWE, because it was totally different. But that was what I was presenting before. And for some reason they were like, nah, man, I just need you to do the lucha. And I was like,
Damn.
come on, man. I could do so
Why?
much more for you, me and my friends. But it is what it is. They set me up right, man. With I learned a lot business wise. I learned a lot for myself. I was able to, you know, buy a house. Like I didn't think that was possible through wrestling. That helped me out. Bought a car. I don't live an extravagant lifestyle, man. I'm very like frugal. I'm from the hood. Like y'all know how it is. Y'all get a little money. A lot of people either spend it or they actually do something with it.
Yeah.
And I just want to do something with it. I don't want to, you know, I left the hood because I want my kids to be like
It's more
not
out here.
struggling. Yeah,
Yeah, right.
right. So they helped me out with that. So I could always appreciate that. But at the end of the day, man, I'm human, and I just want more when I know I'm worth more. So
Hell yeah.
yeah,
Hell
and it
Man.
wasn't the money, and it wasn't the money. The money was great, and the money was not the issue. The issue was just like right here, me. I just wanted more. You know, like I know I could do more, and I just wanted more.
So
let's-
go ahead, man.
Wait. Do the finger thing.
Which one you did it?
So before we start diving deep into wrestling, let's go back a couple of decades ago, maybe about 2, almost 3. You know what I'm saying?
God damn, we talking cat year decades or?
Oh man, we're going way back to baby Litty, baby Lucha.
Okay,
You know what I'm
okay.
saying?
Yes,
I
sir.
just found out that I'm a couple of months older than you, so you know we in the same circle and came up during the same time of wrestling. But what was it about professional wrestling that caught your attention that first moment? And talk about how you transitioned that into starting into training for professional wrestling and coming up through the ranks.
For sure, man. Like, check this. So, wrestling has always been in my family as far as like lucha libre. Like, my grandpa, he just passed last year, but man, this dude, I remember being at his house, like very young. What some of my earliest memories of wrestling, like watching masked guys and in the ring do some incredible things. But to me, and because of how he presented it, it looked like sport, right? Mexican and Puerto Rican wrestling kind of looked like sport to me as a younger kid. So one of my earliest memories for American wrestling, fast forward just a little bit, was I remember going out with my mom and my stepdad at the time and my whole family, and we were trying to find something to do. And I remember walking into this gymnasium style, actually it wasn't a gymnasium, it was like a theater style place. And when we walked in and opened the door, like, you know, you look at the stage and you see what looks like American wrestling, but they didn't really like it, so they walked out right away. But I remember like opening it and like seeing the arena for the building for a second, all the people, and then like the wrestling ring. I was like, whoa, this kind of looks familiar, but I don't know who those two guys are. But then like you see them, like I'm like, oh, okay. But then like you're getting dragged out as like a 3-year-old. But then
Wait, mommy, no, wait.
yeah, wait, I want to watch this. What is this? Please, can I get some popcorn?
Please.
So I remember, man, I was in like first grade when my uncle Mike from my stepdad's side, he was taking us to school, and he wanted to show me this video. He was like, hey, you got to watch this. And like, you know, back in the day, the VHS or the VHS player, what the hell is it called? VCR.
You could
remember, bro, right? You remember like how you could, I loved it though. But remember, like you could fast forward it 2 different ways. Like you could fast forward it on the blue screen and like you don't know when it stops, right? Or like you don't know like where it's at. Or you could fast forward it while playing it and like you just like see it in fast motion. And that's what he did. He just was like melting my brain. He was like trying to find a specific, and I'm just like, what is going on right now? And then he pauses it. Then he straight up pauses it and he goes, watch this. Plays it, and it's Yokozuna versus The Undertaker casket match.
Royal Rumble.
Sir. And I was like, it happens in a ring, but the idea is that you have to put your person in the casket. I've never seen that before. I go, what is this? He's like, this is American professional wrestling. And I go, I love it. And then, like, so you remember that match? They put Undertaker in the ring, but then all
Everybody
these
came
other
out.
characters, and then
Yep.
I'm like, who are these
Packed
guys?
them
Oh
out.
god! I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my god, bro! And then he goes like, and like
Put him in the casket. The smoke comes out of the casket,
and then he
comes
goes
out
up,
the Titantron.
bro. I'm getting goosebumps
Ugh.
literally. I'm like, this is fucking American wrestling. This is the best thing I've ever seen in my life. I'm gonna do that.
Yeah,
And not I want to do that.
I'm
going
to do that. Yeah,
It's gonna
You
happen.
could not, bro. You couldn't tell me anything. Like, you could have introduced me and gave me every opportunity to be president, astronaut, whatever other cool jobs there was. You couldn't tell me anything, and I was like, no, I'm gonna be a professional wrestler because I want to fucking do a casket match and fucking float up in the air. So
like, that shit was damn dope. Like,
bro,
for that to be your first experience, like having to watch that whole match, not even knowing the story and following up to it or whatever, but just the match of Yokozuna.
You're looking at a guy
and then
dead, right? A guy who's supposed
Paul
to be
Bearer
dead
with the urn
versus a sumo wrestler. What?
Man.
That is mind blowing for somebody who's like 6 years old, 5 years old,
man.
and you're watching this for the first time, and you're like, wow. And ever since then, I had the same mentality toward wrestling where I just wanted to do it. So I found other people who were also like me, obsessed with wrestling, like all kinds of wrestling, right? But at that time, it was like WWF, WCW, and ECW, because I was out from Camden, New Jersey, which was across Philadelphia, and that was where ECW was. So I found there was like 8 or 7 of us, 7 or 8 of us that ended up doing backyard wrestling. Because we were like, well, we want to be wrestlers. Like, we got to start training. Where do you get trained? No, we train each other. Like, all right, cool. So we had not even pro. We had no pads. We just had rugs and a folding chair, 2 folding chairs.
The front lawn. You know what I'm saying? Couches inside the house. Whether
Mac, let's not start. Let's not start, Mac.
Hey, I'll send you some videos. I'll show y'all some really good clips that might blow y'all mind, because a lot of guys came out of my backyard wrestling fed, man, that are actually in big shows right now that like you'd be surprised, because after we did that, our production was awesome. Like, we had no ring, but we had great stories and great production. So we found a place about 30 minutes from us, another backyard wrestling company that had not really good production. The wrestling was like not that good, but they had a wrestling ring.
Yeah. So you got the missing pieces. They got a missing piece for you. It's like, let's do this.
Put that together. Yeah.
Hey, so we ended up doing that, man. And it was like being in the ring for the first time, being like 13, 14 years old. I was like, whoa, this is sick. Like, I love this. And eventually later on, we ended up doing one show where an ECW guy, Tommy Cairo, ended up watching our backyard wrestling show. He lived like 20 minutes away. We invited him. We said, hey, come over here. Now, mind you, real quick, before I go any further, I didn't know anything about indie wrestling at this point. Gotcha. I only knew about WWF.
Nobody did at that point.
ECW, and a little bit of Japanese, maybe a little bit of Japanese wrestling. After the show, there was about maybe 20 wrestlers who performed. There was about 8 of us that he was like, out of y'all 8 or 20, y'all 8 have something. You guys should go to Philadelphia. There's a training facility in the ECW building where they still run shows for the indies. You guys should go there and talk to the people who run those. And I remember being like, like 17 when that happened. I was like, yeah, let's go ahead and, let's do it. And it took about like another year or so, but we ended up going to a show. It was the CZW Best of the Best. I don't know if you guys are familiar with CZW, but it was the first ever independent show that I ever went to. And they had their Best of the Best tournament. If it was any other show that CZW would have put on, I probably would not be wrestling. Because, CZW is about violence and death matches and stuff. And I didn't want to do that. But they had put on their best show of the year by bringing in the best wrestlers in a tournament style. And I appreciated that. I was like, I was introduced to indie wrestling by that tournament. And I saw guys like Claudio Castagnoli, who's in AEW right now, Chris Hero, Ruckus, a guy that I don't think gets enough credit, and a bunch of other dudes. And I was like, okay, this is what I want to do. Like, this is where I want to train. This is literally my backyard. And ever since that day, I got trained like literally the next day or like the next couple weeks, and I think it was like 5 or 6 months into my training, I had my first match and made my whole, my rest of the career, whatever I wanted to do, I did.
Yeah, and you didn't. It didn't take too long for you to start training yourself after you got started, right?
Well, as far as what?
Well, training other people to be professional wrestlers.
No, yeah. So like I think I didn't start training people until maybe like 8 years in. I moved down to Florida in 2010. So probably about 3 years after that, I found a couple facilities that had some rings and people wanted to train the Lucha Libre style because it's a different style than it is the American style. It does bring new tools to some people's move sets. So a lot of people wanted to train with me. So yeah, I trained a couple guys and girls, but not particularly. I don't claim anybody to be my student. I just, have people who I just say, yeah, these are my good people that like I would vouch for, or I've said, yeah, they've trained with me and yeah, they're really good, or they're the shits.
Yeah, man. I pretty much did everything that you did leading up to becoming a professional wrestler, except for like, oh, well, let's start our own backyard wrestling company or whatever. Like we used to just wrestle in the front yard, the backyard sometimes or whatever, inside the house. Fuck each other up, church,
Yep.
yeah, stuff like that. I might have F5'd him a couple of times at church,
might have,
and got him in trouble for it.
Yeah,
but I never like I never had the mindset of where can I go train at. I always thought like, Florida was the place. And at the time, getting out of high school, I'm like, I got to move all the way to Florida. I don't really know how to travel. I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to do that. I really just didn't take the initiative to search and find more things. So I never continued any further in my wrestling. What happened?
Yeah, I was gonna your wrestling career, but I was gonna say I had wrote about this not that long ago because I met a lot of people that say they want to be wrestlers, and I see them train and I could literally look at a crowd of people or like anybody who does seminars with me or anybody who like wants to train with me, and I can literally look at them and I know that they're either what I like to call a 99 percenter or 100%.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
Either 99 or 100. 99, they want to do everything, but once they get to that mental block of sacrifice or unknown, uncomfortable,
they
can't do it, right? Tap. But the 100%ers, the ones willing to sacrifice everything and anything, family, money, time, everything and anything, because they 100% believe that they're gonna make it. And that's what I did. Like I'm literally banking on myself every day since I started that I am who I say I am. I am what I'm worth. I am, you know what I'm saying? And like to me, yeah, it just seemed like you just put a 99%er, Briz. That's just not bad. It's not bad. I'm a 99%er.
I mean, not bad at all. Not damn bad at all. I mean,
I just got that extra 1%.
It's and it just goes back to saying how powerful the brain is and how that mentality is. Like it really I told somebody yesterday, I said, I'm going through a transition right now in my life. And I'm the only person that's going to understand what it's going to take. You know what I'm saying? Nobody outside of my mental is going to understand the decisions that I'm making and what I'm doing to grow as a person, because it's not your mind, it's not your brain. You're not gonna be able to tap in the way that I'm tapping in, but you can tap in. You just have to get there for your own personal self. It's all about getting into the mirror and having that war, having that talk, having that fight that nobody really likes to have. Expose yourself to learn yourself.
Do you like reading?
Huh?
Do you like reading?
I do like reading, but I have not read in quite some time. It's nothing that I can't get back into, but definitely I'm open to it.
I will say this. There was a time, man, especially in WWE, I was like in a very bad mental funk where, leading up to that moment, I thought I was invincible. And then I got a little bit of trouble where I got sent home, and it really messed with my brain because, I started questioning a lot of things. A lot of things in my family started happening. My home was not good. My mental state was not good. And then I started reading, man. I actually, before I did that, fast rewind. While all of that was happening, I swear, man, there was this video I watched. I can't find it. So maybe like at that moment in my life in the universe, there was a video, or maybe there wasn't, and I just dreamt it. But it was like the ass kicking I needed to kick out, like mentally. And then I started reading that, like, all these books in the background over here, like all of those are all books that
got
I've
a
read.
6-story bookshelf.
Yeah, but they're all like very like great health mental books for me, like really like just changed my mindset. The last one I read was Master Your Emotions, and really helped me out. Like that's why I'm so positive a lot of the times, and like try to bring that to other people. And that, I would definitely recommend anybody like in a mental funk, write and read, and definitely, talk to somebody, whether it's a friend or professional help for sure.
Let's actually talk about that, because we do know, me and Mac, we are great wrestling fans. We love all wrestling, as we all talk about. But nowadays we do know that this community sometimes can get, for lack of a better word, toxic sometimes. So how else do you get in, stay in a right mental space, even when it comes to fanhood, or when it comes to just the grind? How do you stay in how else do you stay in a good mental space?
For sure, a couple different things. One, I always assume that everybody just is having a worse day than I am. So maybe they're just taking it out on me because the platform that I put myself on. So with my platform does come some, I some backlash. But at the end of the day, the more and more that people do that, sometimes you just got to put somebody in their place, man, and call a motherfucker out. So, and to me, I've built enough of an army that will help me, back me up, to the point where like people see it. If you're going to be a jerk, like then I'm going to be a jerk to you. But just know, like, man, like me being a jerk or me being a man is maybe a little bit different than you can handle. So, just be ready to either step up or just, be ready to apologize. But mostly when it comes to the community, dude, like I said, I just surround myself with positivity and just know that at the end of this, it don't even matter. The only thing that matters is my life, my kids, and the experience that they got, because I brought them into this world. And I'm just gonna go home to something like, if they don't love me, like as far as the fans, I know I'm going home to somebody that does love me, and that's my kids.
Right, man. That's the perfect thing the first thing to remember every day, because like I said, our family, our kids, that's the main thing. That, man, being a father, that meant the world to me. Like as we were talking about, meeting you, that meant the world to him, to me, just because family's a big thing, especially when you're on the grind, man.
I appreciate the little man, because I know, like I said, I know what it's like to like go to a wrestling show, and all I want is a wrestler to just acknowledge me, or show me a little love, and make me feel like I'm a part of the show. And that's why when I saw him, and I said it to y'all, I said anything for the kids. But it's like, this whole weekend, even like this weekend in Mexico, everybody was trying to take pictures, and I was like, only kids, like, and grown ass men like pushing little kids and stuff. And I was like, nah, hell no.
What?
Yeah, just to get a picture. I'm like, no, dude, I'm gonna take a picture with the little kid. Get the hell out of my face. And no, but like legit, anything for the kids. Anytime one of my friends asks, like, hey, can you do a video, or can you come say hi to my, my niece or my nephew, or yes, all day, I'll stop whatever I'm doing for sure.
Man.
That's
and that's how you know your energy is dope, because I'll tell you right now, my son is the type of person that he don't talk to many people.
He's my nephew. At that show, he spent a good 30 minutes and did not speak to me. I was in his face. Hello, hi, hey, what's going on? Hey, hi, hello, hey, hi. Oh, you're not gonna talk to me? You want some popcorn? He'll nod yes, still won't say nothing.
Give me that
You
popcorn,
come over there. Hey, I'm like,
yeah. I said, this is my little man. Yo, come out with my entrance with me. Let's vibe out. I
was like, ain't this about it? All right.
And I saw his face, man. When I saw his like face and his energy, I was like, dude, like this is so sick. Like just knowing that he's gonna go home and like, whether he remembered it or not, years from now, like just that moment in my life, like I just remember seeing y'all faces and then his face, and then it was just like, this is why I do it. I do it for a lot of reasons, but that's definitely part of the reason why I do it, to put those types of like emotions and memories forever.
Yeah.
Right. And so
Speaking of the kids, you
yeah.
got something for them as far as kids is concerned for the moment.
Yeah, man. Because speaking of the kids, man, we all know, and we're gonna talk further about you and your creative mind and your just being able to make materials. You feel me? But one
Yep.
thing that was special to me that I wish I could do, you made something for your own daughter, bro, and that mess is amazing. So just let me know, man. Like how is first of all the creative mind process just period when it comes to creating stuff and just again like incorporating your kids in it. It's just
Before you answer that, what
uh-huh.
type of animal was that, man?
Say it again.
What type of animal was that? Oh wait, hold on.
What-
What type of animal was that you made? What is that? Is it a bear? Is it a dog? Is it a cat? Is it a
No, it's a
lucha?
bear. Yeah, it's a bear. It's a bear. So okay, so this particular item actually was made for my grandpa, or for my grandmom. I had, if you pull up the picture again, pull it up one more time. So that material, all of it, the yellow, the blue, and the material that the bear is made out of, you can see me tracing it actually, is made of my grandpa's pajama pants. So it had a smell. Yeah, it had a smell. The shirt that was on the bear and the shorts were shirts that were, had my grandpa's smell. And I wanted to make it for my grandma because, after my grandpa passed, she has more time now. And I know she's going to be traveling. And like, when you lose your loved one, like it's sad. So I made this bear. I found this, I found a website that showed me like I wanted to make a traditional bear. I didn't want to make like a bear that was just like this and stiff. I wanted it where like it could move its arms and its head, and it was like a traditional, bear. And I found a website that showed me how to do it, and I bought all the material. And I asked my grandma, I said, "Yeah, can I get some stuff for grandpa because I want to save it?" But really, what I was doing was I was making the bear for her. So I made that bear by hand, man. Hand stitched it. I made my stencil. Everything was made by me. Like I did it, by my own pattern. The only thing I did was I just took the concept of a website and just did it that way. But I'm able to also because my background is math. I was a math teacher before a wrestler. Well, while I was wrestling. So I'm able to look at something like a shirt or pair of pants and I could deconstruct it. And I already know what the pattern is and what measurements I need. And that's what I did with this bear. I realized okay, well, what do I need? I need legs, arms, and a torso. How do I make it? And that's what I ended up doing. So I ended up making that one. I gave it to her. She cried. She travels with it every time she goes to Puerto Rico or New Jersey, where my family is. I made two other ones. One out of jeans, and then one for a fan that asked. Usually I wouldn't have done it, but a fan had asked that their grandmama, grandpa just passed, and I really fell with the story. And I said, "Hey man, if you really want to send me something to make, I'll definitely make it for you for free." So I did that for somebody, and I actually like making them. I started making them more advanced with pockets and kangaroo pouches, and that was the very first one though, and she has that. So when you pull that up, I didn't know you were gonna pull that up. I was like, whoa,
Definitely special.
Yeah, definitely a special item that I've ever made. I've made a lot of cool items, a lot of my gear that you saw in Cali, all the robes that I make, I made that. But that's probably my top 3 special things I've ever made in my life.
I mean, since we're there, we're gonna go ahead and get into it. You know what I'm saying? Lucha threads. It's lit. Go ahead, hit that it's lit as one time. Man. First of all, one more time. Yeah. First of all, I'm sure that you possibly can, but I can't imagine how you would be able to. How many costumes have you made? Do you have a number?
Ooh.
Okay, for me or in total for everybody else?
Just for you, because I know including everything else is just going your brain, and I don't want to do that to you.
All right, well let me think. I only started wearing the robes since February of this year, and I've already made 8 robes.
Okay.
If that's the case, I probably have made, and I have them still because I have about 3 32-gallon bins full of gear, and that's not even with boots. I'm just talking spandex, gear, robes, tights, masks, and things. I already have 32-gallon things full. And that's not even including everything because I know I sold some things. So probably total. Because remember, also in WWE, every month I had a new set of gear. I was making a new set of gear, and I was there for 6 years. So there's 6 times 12 right there. That's 72 different types. Man, probably over 1,000, honestly. And between that and just pieces of gear, probably over 1,000.
Me personally, I appreciate always presenting a new look and a different look, especially like for pay-per-views and things that are special matches to you. It's just like, come on, like pour into it, give everything you got.
Even this weekend, I was there for 6 shows, but one of them was the most important, and I made literally one set of gear, one robe, a brand new robe I've never worn. Like I said, I was only going to wear it for Arena Mexico for that one day, and the green set of gear that I wore, and I'll never wear it again because it was only made for that one day, and like you said, the word is special. It has to be special. It can't just feel like another match or another day. It has to be special.
Yeah,
so probably 1,000 pieces, bro.
I definitely smarky mark out for attire and things of that nature. But just speaking about it, what made you start making your own attire? Like, how did you get in the process of that and just being so creative and etching them out and drawing, and just how much time goes into that?
All right, so first check this. So I took my first. I was in 7th grade when we were still like supposed to take like a sewing class, a home ec class, a wood shop. And I remember in that sewing class, like learning how to sew. Like she was like, if you could sew a straight line in a circle, you could sew anything. And that was like our final exam was like straight line on the sewing machine and a circle. And ever since that day, man, I was like, I can make anything and everything. I don't give a fuck.
So damn it, public school, you didn't do it.
So you didn't like I legit got something out of it. So that was in 7th grade. I'm already wrestling at this point. So I'm probably about 19, maybe 20 years old. I want to say 19. I was 19 when I was asking somebody to make me a set of gear. And I'm 19 years old, dude. And this dude asked me for $400. And I was like, motherfucker, what am I supposed to get $400 from right now? Huh? and then you want me to pay the Western Union fee, and then you want me to pay the shipping fee.
Taxing was 19.
I'm 19 years old, dog. I said, you know what? For $400, I'm gonna go buy me a sewing machine, some fabric, and I'm gonna learn how to sew. So I went to the sewing machine or store. I bought a cheap ass sewing machine for like $100, and I bought a couple yards of black and gold fabric. And I went home and I made the shittiest set of gear I've ever seen in my life. Now that I've seen it. But back then I was like, this is the shit. I'm proud as fuck. Like I did it. And I wore it the next day at my show. And like looking back, I was like, damn, this should kind of look like whack. But since that day, I was like, because I was a teacher while I was wrestling. So I'm always trying to learn. And I was not content like that being the final version of my creativity. And ever since then, I just got better and better, challenged myself. I started making gear for my friends. Like, hey, I just need more practice. Let me try. You guys buy the material and I'll just like practice, making your shit for you. And everything that you see now, I ended up just, making myself. I spent some time, roll up a couple bleezies, drawing it out first with my kids. They're very in tune in what I do. So like, I always ask them, what material should I use? What color should I use? Especially when it comes to show days, they help me out pick, the gear that I'm going to wear. Like they're very much into like everything, that this is my brand. This is our brand when I think about it. I love making gear, man, dude. Everything about it, like seeing the final product makes me so happy to the point where like I don't even make gear for anybody else anymore. I try not to because I hate how much it's not just time, it's literally how much love you put into it. Like I'm putting my mental creativity into it, like making sure that it's perfect, making sure that it's you can wear it as long as you can. Like it's the best. I always love when people say, yo, your gear's always been the best gear I've ever worn in my life. And I'm like, yeah, dog, what you think, dog? I made it. You think I was gonna make you something?
Yeah.
Start giving them a little bit of flavor. But a lot of
Like, why you
people
pushing?
they don't check in, they don't notice. But it's just like pure creativity when it's good. That shit is therapy. That
Yeah,
shit is so
exactly.
therapeutic. Like, oh my
And
god.
it's funny that you said that because before my trip to Mexico, my boy that I went to Mexico with, he needed a set of gear made, right? He needed 2 sets. And of course, he asked me at the last second. I said, look, mofo, you got to come over my house, you got to buy the material, you're going to smoke me out, and you got to help me make the gear. And I had sat him down, dude. We cut the gear. Like I had him cutting. I had him sitting at the sewing machine doing all the straight lines or trying to do straight lines. And at the end of it, he was like, you know what? As stressed as I was, that was actually very therapeutic. And I was like, yeah, that's why sometimes like I just like locking myself in the room, put music on, headphones or whatever, and just do my own thing, man. Just create. And I'm a creator at the end of the day.
Yeah. And
So
that's probably why I locked in with you. I know GM got some favorites, but I just want to show you these real quick. Like you
Yeah,
popped
please.
me hard. You popped me hard with this one.
Oh, that's awesome.
And then this one right here, you know what I'm saying? And then,
Ah!
killing it with the white range. Like, oh, 80s
Yeah.
babies, 90 babies, stand up for the Power
Yeah.
Ranger gear. I was
Yeah.
just like, oh, come on. You gonna Mighty Morphin me to death? Like, I love
I
this shit.
always said if I ever make I could have done it any time before WWE, but I said if I ever make it to WWE, I'm gonna make me some Power Ranger gear. And I did, bro. I remember that green one, the Dragon Zord I wore on stage, even though I wasn't on the show. Yep. Even though I wasn't on the show, I wore that on stage at WrestleMania and here in Tampa during COVID. And I just remember how crazy that was. And so like to me, that's a very special one. And I'm actually let me see if I can show y'all because this right here. If my
Oh,
Come on.
God.
Come on.
yeah,
Stop
in its
playing.
entirety.
You
On the
man.
other side, I got my Cruiserweight Classic gear. I know it's a little bit hard to see. I apologize. But, yeah, my Cruiserweight Classic gear with the Puerto Rican flag. That's my very first set of gear I ever wore in WWE. Yep. So to me, those are like my special ones. Like I said, man, a lot of people always ask for like masks and things like that. But to me, it's hard to part with them when you know how much time you put in and how much they mean to you. Somebody offered me 10,000 for that Power Ranger gear, and I said, "No, dude, I'm good." Yeah, I was like, I couldn't do it.
Oof, I know how I feel to just give up something that you just like. You don't know how much I love this.
Yeah,
You
sorry.
don't. I know you value it at a high degree, but you just don't know.
You don't know, bro.
You're not gonna treat it like I can. You're not gonna treat it like I can.
Right? You're not gonna appreciate it like I. And so every once in a while, I will see somebody that I'm like. You could tell, like you could look at them in their eyes, and you could tell they really fucking love you and appreciate everything that you do. And sometimes you do give in, like you're like, you know what, all right, cool, all right, fine. But then you got to give them that high price because at the end of the day, they're either gonna take it and then like, all right, well, I guess you could take it, or they say no, and you're like,
man, God,
God is best.
Either or. I've been working you over for a minute, but I'm gonna tag the J Klassick back in. Like,
thank you. First of all, let me say my one of my favorite gears is your cane gear. That myth is dope as hell. And I already know.
I'm gonna give you a little little secret. So I did the cane gear. I'm gonna do classic Undertaker gear now.
We talking. Oh wait, that's almost classic. I thought you was gonna go way back to the gray.
Not the gray. No,
not okay.
Now remember, he only wore the gray.
So with the Phantom mask, then right?
Yeah, I'm gonna do that one because I like my boots to have white soles, but my boot maker made a pair of purple boots with black soles, and he sent them to me, and I was like, oh man, like these, I can't wear these. What am I gonna do with them? Undertaker gear, you know what I'm saying?
That's gonna be dope.
I can't wait for that one.
I'll send you the first picture once I make it, bro.
Ooh,
hey, I bet he gonna lay it on the bed like the first day of school. Ooh.
And that cane gear, I only wore twice, and even though I only wore it twice, it was just enough times because again, it was like something special. I made it because I wanted to make it. I loved Kane when I was little. I thought he was the coolest mofo ever, and like when I was like young. And I was like, yeah, I'll make Kane gear one day. And I did it. I showed Undertaker. He loved it. I wish I saw Kane at that time that I was wearing it, because I would have definitely asked his ass to sign it. But bro, I could still get it to sign, you know.
Most definitely, man. You know, there's another place I love to make variations of gear. So, you know, since I don't have the sewing skills quite yet, but there is a place I love to make gear, and another place that I know that you are, and that is 2K22. Bro.
Oh yes,
yeah.
Hey, they could have showed you some more love on that overall, man.
Man,
Like,
you know what, man? Jack
could've.
that ass. Hey, but they put me in the game this year. Jokes on them, because I wasn't with the company and they had to pay me before. When I was in the game, they didn't pay me for it, bro.
Oh, word.
Whole pay schedule, I won't get into it. The whole pay was like crazy, yeah. But every time, all my extra money went to something else, and I never got any money for the game until this past year. Which, yeah. But this game is dope. Did you guys play this?
Oh yeah, definitely,
Yes.
definitely.
Oh yeah,
definitely.
What do y'all play? Xbox, PlayStation?
Nah, PlayStation
Xbox.
for life, man.
Xbox.
I've been playing it on PlayStation 4, but I just got a PlayStation 5 for my birthday and everything, so I like transferred all my information over there. I was actually playing my little nephew yesterday over here at our office and everything. Whooped on him a little bit, let him beat me once, you know.
He said, "Let him beat your ass."
No, he got me. I made some technicalities and some errors, and he capitalized and got me, and I was mad about it. But you know,
hey, even though I won't be in the next game, like you won't be able to play as me, I'm actually doing the mocap for the next game. I was doing some of the motion capture, for this past game, and so like my move set will still be in there. You know, people I'm sure would still like to play with me, because I like to think my move set, bro, kind of like a video game. I like to have my matches like a video game. I like to have fun. So yeah, but they gave me a shitty ranking, man. Like, what's up with that?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna have to go in on mine and boost that up in a couple of areas and make it.
All right, let me ask y'all a question. If y'all were wrestling, what would y'all moves be? What would your finishing move be?
Ooh, you see,
crazy shit. I actually
let me look in my head.
Don't give me no Def Jam Vendetta where like
no. I actually made my own shit. I made my. It was like a The funny part is I used to get in trouble all the time doing backyard wrestling with my own wrestle buddies with this move, because I would do like a suplex, but instead of doing a full suplex, I'll slam you down almost like an inverted DDT almost. So it's like, so yeah, it was. I had a full on, man.
What was about you, Matt?
I had to do it in my head to make sure it made sense.
I saw you practicing over there. I feel like I'm in a wrestling match. Did we call a spot? I don't remember calling a spot with Mac. Hold on.
Hook the arms like I'm getting you in the pedigree, right? And I flip you up around and then end with a cutter, like just you ain't getting up from that. I'm
gonna do that at PC Dub for you. I'm gonna do that at PC Dub for you,
man. Speaking of PC Dub, you brought it up at the right time. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, saw you at Way Out West. You did your thing in there with the other homie Denny Limelight, Puerto Rico stand up all the way through. Y'all definitely put on a show. I was able to capture this real quick off my shitty ass phone or whatever, but I got close enough to get that one with the robe. I was
feeling myself, literally. Yeah, I remember that moment. She was like, Lucha. I was like, I feel like I'm having an orgasm in this goddamn ring right now. But that's how I should feel. You know, that's how I should feel. Like I'm
every single time.
Every single time, and I felt it, bro. That day, that was my first time out for PC Dub, and I knew the promoter, bro, forever. And that was the first time out, my first time ever touching in the ring with Danny Limelight. I've known him forever, but like we've never been in the ring before together. And I remember also being very stressed that day, because remember I even told y'all, I said, hey, I have to catch a flight like right away, right after my
got out of there quick.
Yeah, I had to, because I had to go catch a flight to Pittsburgh or Philly. I had a show the next day on the East Coast before flying home the next day after that. So I was stressed about that. But I just remember, you know what? Let's have fun. I told Danny, I said, let's have fun. They already hate and love you. Yeah. They're going to love me because I'm already just going to be so different than anybody else that they brought in. Not just because I'm a luchador, but because I'm a different luchador. I'm me. And let's just have fun. And I remembered we had called something in the beginning that we wanted to do, but I don't know if you guys remember, but we ended up doing like a run spot and like a pose off and a lick off, or like we ended up just goofing off to the point where we didn't even do what we said we were going to do in the back. We were just having fun at that point. And I was like, you know,
calling it on the spot.
Yeah. I was like, bro, at this point, we're already it's already over. Like, we're doing too much. Like whatever we said, we're doing too much. And Danny's a professional, bro. I love fucking Danny. I wish he was in in more spots. But Danny, it wasn't just me who killed it. Trust me, it takes two to
Oh
tango.
yeah, it's both of y'all. Definitely.
Danny was the perfect foil for me for my introduction to the West Coast at PC Dub. The vibe, I love the vibe at PCW. It's exactly what I loved. I had my own entrance chick do my own entrance for me. You know, like I didn't want the entrance because again, I want my entrance and I want everybody to feel like it's a part of the show, like immerse, change the vibe. So bringing my own entrance girl to do my intro rather than the regular ring announcer who's like, "Oh, following contest is scheduled for." I'm like, man, I need
following contest is scheduled for one fall. Coming out to the ring.
I loved it, man. I loved my experience, and I know I'm going back in October, which I hope I see you guys there. And little man,
definitely will.
Oh
Definitely
man,
I'm about to be winning that strap over there. I know I'm about to. Yep, there he is. That's him right there. And,
man.
I know he's excited, man. But I've wrestled a lot of dudes who I will say this were very excited to wrestle me, and then they realize like this culture shock of like they start to question themselves, like, are they really that good, or you know, like, am I? You know, they're wrestling. I think I'm good. I know I'm good, bro. Like I wouldn't be in the places that I've been in impossible situations because people, you know. But I've been. I know where I've been, and I hope homie's ready and gives me his shit because I'm about to smoke his ass out.
So right here, right now, you know what I'm saying? You I know you gonna hear me because I'm gonna be in the background shouting a lot of shit. You know, when it comes to Jay, I'm always like, style on them, Jay, and things.
I know.
I'm gonna have to find me some Lince chance to throw up in that joint because when I was watching you and Danny Limelight, I was just in awe. I was just silent and just taking in all the art. But just right here, right now, if you got some words for the ultra lightweight champion, you know what I'm saying, what would they be?
The only words I'm gonna leave you are with this. When the most lucha lit wrestler shows up to PCW, there's only one thing that he's gonna leave, and that's the lucha lit ultra lightweight PCW champion. There's no other ending to how that vibe ends. You don't go from being lucha lit to nothing, you know? You just stay lucha lit. The right state of mind. And to be in the right state of mind is to be also a champion. And you're looking at the next PCW ultra lightweight champion, the most entertaining, the most interesting luchador of all professional wrestling, the 2010 and 2011, Mr. Puss in Boots Lucha. Lince Dorado.
I like the lip
Yeah.
like
I love
it. And maybe hopefully that'll give him to come on because you know he cool dude, cool guy. He always chops with us, and he's like, I have to come on. Like I gotta come on.
If he want to come on, he would have been on. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people all talk. I'll say that. A lot of people all talk here in this business, and a lot of people are professional wrestlers, and a lot of people are business and professional wrestlers. I'm the Lex Luger, baby. The complete package, the total package.
Total package.
You're right. Yes.
I was beatboxing his WCW total package theme the other day, and Klassick just looking at me like, "What are you doing?" And I'm just all the way.
I didn't see that first. I was like, wait a minute, you going in, bro?
I was in it.
That's
what are
adventure,
you
bro.
doing? I was like, I'm just in my head with this beat, man. It's so hard.
But some of them WCW songs slap hard, bro. Like, even if they rip off like real, bro, I got a lot on my Spotify. I know I'd be busting them out. Eddie Guerrero's, the Demon, the Rey Mysterio. Right?
Everybody know my favorite
Horseman, like
song.
Talk about goosebumps, just
bro, I just got
man.
You know me. I'm a clean '90s baby. My main open to wrestling was Rey Mysterio, but it wasn't. It actually wasn't Mass Rey Mysterio. I got into Filthy Animal Rey Mysterio.
Oh,
So the Filthy Animals theme. Oh, that was it. I was that.
Bro,
Oh,
that
it was
theme
lit.
goes hard. That theme goes hard. I
Hell
know
yeah.
I think in there, and they never blurted out. I believe the N-word is in that theme song.
Oh man.
Oh hell
Oh,
yeah.
we're gonna have to go back and deep dive
for
into
real,
it and
bro.
check it out.
I believe that, and it's always played in WCW. And I questioned it, and I had asked like a couple of dudes. They're like, no, yeah, I think he's just dropping that word. Like it's almost like right in the beginning, like first like 30 seconds is in there, bro. And I was like, oh, this was on WCW.
Sometimes them ad libs, because I'm a singer/songwriter, right? So when I'm listening to music, I listen to it like 4 different times because I'm listening to different things each time I'm listening to it, and ad libs is definitely one of the tracks that I'm listening to throughout the whole song. And it's just you can hide so much stuff in ad libs because people like they either don't hear it or they don't pay attention to it enough, and it's just like I never knew that was there. It's just like
I'm pretty sure this shit was a lyric, bro.
Oh, that's on the main track.
Hey, real quick, he said, Klassick, you said Rey Mysterio. I just did a show in Philadelphia, a Lucha show, and this dude was selling this thing for like $10. And I was like, yo, can I get that? He was like, yeah, check this out.
Oh, that is fire.
As Santino would say, Rey Maestro.
It's still in the package, WCW. I was like, yeah, let me grab that. $10.
Let me have that right there. I mean, taking it back, you know what I'm saying, to I guess the 90s. And I know you're a gamer, and we was talking about the game earlier, but I came across this and I felt some type of way because I was like, if ever. You lucky we can't play this online. You lucky we can't play it online because boy,
there's a way.
I get
There's
that
a way.
1, 2, 3 kid on you or that Razor Ramon or that Undertaker, and you done.
Bro,
I got a Sega Genesis, and it's
let's
still
play
works.
WrestleMania the arcade game, man. Let's play WrestleMania. Taking your ass to the tombstone all day.
Knock all the turkeys and stuff out of Yokozuna, all the hams and everything.
That was the best game for me, man. That was like that was my childhood, bro. Like that was all the games I played, Donkey Kong, Pokemon. I mean, I loved Pokemon, but like if I was like challenging a dude or I had beef with it, yo, come see me on WrestleMania arcade. Let's go.
Easy.
I'll do let's go
easy
all day. But, this one right here behind me, I got all those wrestling games, man. Wrestling cards, Pokemon cards, all the wrestling games that I never had as a kid. I bought them as an adult, and I played them all with all my adult friends. But I would go to all my friends' houses and I'll play them on the PlayStation or wherever they got. I'd be like, yo, I just want to play Warzone or No Mercy.
Warzone is so classic from that PlayStation 1.
No Mercy, WrestleMania like 2000, all the wrestling games.
God.
WCW
Nitro.
NWO versus like all those games are so.
I even played the WCW backstage one that everybody hates.
Backstage Assault, yeah.
Backstage.
I did too, because if you're a wrestling fan, you gotta play them. Like,
you gonna play.
Then you realize like that game's shit.
Yeah, I started on Atari. I can't remember the name of the game, but then you had the regular WrestleMania on Nintendo. You know what I'm saying? And then the Super Nintendo game, Superstars, and all that. Like, if it's coming out, I'm getting it. I gotta try it out. Like Legends of Wrestling, like all of them. Like I even did the what was that? The WWE Crash or whatever the Monster Truck game was.
Yeah.
Crash Hour or something like that. Oh yeah, I even bought an Xbox once upon a time, and I had a place. No, I bought it for WrestleMania 21. I had just broke my PlayStation, and I was like, let me just go ahead and try this out. And I was just like, I don't even know why I bought this Xbox, and I gave it away.
Hey, forget you.
Went right back to the PlayStation. Like, I don't even know why I wasted that money. Here, you can have this. I didn't even take it back to the store.
You can see back here, I got my PlayStation 5. I got the Xbox up there, like just chilling up there.
Yeah, see, it's up
honestly,
there.
Now I just play on my PC though. Like I just play all my games on my PC. I just transferred everything. Anything I could play on there, I would just play there. But yeah, for me personally, I'm a PlayStation guy. I've always been a PlayStation guy. My first system that I purchased myself. Me personally, saved up all my money, PlayStation 1 all day. But I also appreciate the Xbox because when that first came out, dude, like that was a totally different system.
Yeah.
Halo was sick as hell. The idea that you could put music on your system and then use it for WWF Raw.
Yeah.
Here, like, that shit was sick, like innovating.
I ain't gonna knock
But
that.
PlayStation's always been around, man. Like that, something about the controller, something about the logo, the accountability, the games that's always been on it. It's just something about it. It's always been like, even the PlayStation 3 that I hated, I loved it. Like, you know what I'm
I
saying?
mean,
At the same,
I love my PlayStation 3 the most because it was backwards
really. Oh,
compatibility.
the first
I
one.
had
I
that
did
one.
too. I did too.
Yeah.
I got that one too. But then, you know, like when later on, when you, because that one didn't have a lot of memory too. So then you ended up having it like,
That's why I stayed offline. I didn't download too much to it. I just really, it was mine. I kept it personally to myself and just enjoyed my games. I didn't really get to start playing online until I got a PlayStation 4. And then, well, of course, with the PS5 now too, which I feel like, you know, I'm a part of a Fortune 500 club now. Shout outs to the one that bought me that PS5. I appreciate you. Thank you. Love you. But you know what I'm saying? It's like,
I might need a PlayStation 5. That's not really one there. Sorry. No,
I see it. It's back there. But man, like, I mean,
I still need
really,
a new Xbox myself.
Man, you need a PlayStation.
I still need a new Xbox.
Throw that Xbox in the trash, man. It's okay.
That too. No, first of all, I never throw an Xbox in the trash.
Get that Xbox and shooting star press, man.
I've had Nintendo 64, and ever since Nintendo 64.
That's the motion.
I've had Nintendo 64 first. Ever since then, it's been Xbox. I've had Xbox since the inception. So, yeah, that's been.
You're just
been
born
me,
in a
bruh.
different era. That's what's wrong with you. You
Hey,
don't get it. You don't understand.
You know what?
You don't get it.
I may be in a different era, but guess what? My era, it's still. All right. Just want you to know. Just want you to know.
Whatever. So we didn't really dig into it, so I guess we'll go there now. And you were probably expecting it and waiting for it, but can we talk some WWE for a second?
Whatever. I told you, open book, Bruce. Let's go.
Open book. Well, let's talk about your entrance first of all. Like what was that experience like?
Well, like I said earlier, the music I could never get into, but I remember the first time like really experiencing a WWE entrance was at the Cruiserweight Classic. This is before I even got signed too. And we did the entrance one time before anybody was there, and like, of course, like it just felt like you were just going through the motions. But the moment that my match actually came and I walked through that curtain, man, I didn't even hear the music, honestly, because like I had already blocked it, but I was so in awe of the production, of the people, the setup, how the ring looked. I was about to perform in a WWE ring. Like, not a lot of people can say that, you know, especially I wasn't being an extra. I was there to perform, showcase what I could do. And I was winning. So when I went out there, man, and I literally, I remember I had my cape on, I went like this, and it wasn't because I was part of my entrance. I was like literally trying to take it off.
Yeah. I'm sure somebody gave you that advice to, like, when you get out there, just take a moment. Just
take a moment. And I didn't want to just take it all in. And I remember that was it. And I was like, this is home. I felt very comfortable. Fast forward then, you know, once we get to like 205 Raw, it starts to feel a little bit more overproduced, very simple, very not organic, very not me. It felt like I was Lince Dorado and not the person that plays or wrestles as Lince Dorado. And I was going through the motions. It was the worst part of the match to me, was the entrance, because it just wasn't me. I wasn't feeling the vibe of the beat. Like, I just couldn't get into it. And my tag team partner couldn't get into it. We've asked multiple times for like different music, and it just wasn't a priority for them. Again, they liked already the presentation. They had an idea for the presentation, and it's their company. Can't fault for them. I'm not mad at it, but at the end of the day, you know, I either can accept it and just stop complaining, or I could just say, hey, you know what, I'm going to do my own thing. And that's what I ended up doing. And going back to kind of what we said earlier, that's why my entrance is so important to me in this moment of my career. I just, you know, I was in Mexico from the 14th of August to the 22nd. And every day that I had a match, I remembered asking a production person, I'm like, please make sure that you have my music. Please make sure that the announcer says my name this way, not just Lince Dorado. Make sure he says it. I want, again, everybody to be immersed in this. Like, I want the Shinsuke entrance where everybody's just
yeah.
Like, I want people to come see me just for my entrance. I want them to be like, yo, what's he wearing today? What's his robe? What's the color? What's he like? You know what I'm saying? Like, not who he's wrestling. Like, every time I go out there, you're gonna see the most legit, the best moves ever, the most spectacular moves you'll ever see in your life that nobody else can do. And even if they can do it, yo, good for them. But guess what? My shit is better. I know it is, because like, that's why I'm in this position and you're not. And I'm not trying to be cocky or anything, but at the end of the day, I'm very confident in my abilities. Like, whatever I say I'm gonna do, my brain, like, whatever I tell my brain, like, my brain don't tell me what to do. I tell my brain what to do. And like, that's the difference between like a lot of people. Yeah, no, motherfucker, you work for me, I don't work for you. And yeah, my entrance right now, like I said, in my career is the most important thing, because it sets the tone. You don't have to know me or anything about what I do in the ring, but the moment you hear that music and you're vibing out, and then you realize, like, damn, this is a cool ass cat. Like, okay, like I could fucks with this guy. It makes my job a lot easier, man. Like, it's mega important, from the music to the presentation. Everything is important.
You know what? I let me tell you right now. I will put my bid in right now. You say you want that experience? I will be your Pat McAfee on commentary. I do not. It's about to get lit.
That's the thing, man. The commentary makes it so much better. Like,
man.
But let me say this: the matches that need commentary, the commentary makes those matches better. But when those matches, like the match that I had with Danny, if somebody did commentary over that match, the match was lit. But fucking putting lit ass commentary over that just makes that match like over the top, here to here. And then that's why that show was great, bro. PC Dub puts on a great show, but I would put my foot right down on the ground and say me and Danny had the best match of the night, like bar none. Nobody could have topped it. Nobody, like, every time I go to the West Coast, everybody always says, yo, Lince had the best match with Danny Limelight. Yo, Lince had the best match with Fatu. Like, that's just what I do. You think I'm going to come out to the West Coast and mail it in just because I'm an ex-WWE guy? No, man, this is my job. This is what I do. This is my heart. This is what I sacrifice a lot of shit for. So I know if I'm asking for this amount of money, like, I know what you expecting, and I know what I'm expecting for myself. So I always come out and show out.
Man. Go ahead, GM. I think I know where you're going, so I'm gonna get ready with these pitches. Go ahead.
Most definitely, man. First of all, yeah, that was one of the best matches, bro. You did a freaking hurricane. You did a hurricane runner from the top rope, and then landed on your feet.
Landed on your feet like a motherfucking cat.
And then rolled a fake joint,
man.
Right? And then went to the top and then hit it. Yeah, That's one of my new things, man. Like, I'll do that at a lot of bigger shows. I did that this week at Arena Mexico. It's never been done before. Like, I can't remember anybody ever really doing that from the top rope ever. And I remember one day I did it when I got, actually, no, I lied. Okay, so yeah, nobody's ever done that. Me and Kalisto did it in WWE one time by accident. I gave him, it was a match between me and him, first time ever, me versus Kalisto in WWE. And one of our big moves, you could find it on YouTube because it got over 1 million hits in like 3 days. I remember WWE was so like happy with it and proud. We were like mega proud, but I gave him the Hurricanrana and I landed on my feet, but I wasn't supposed to. So I landed and I realized what happened. And then I just was like, just so ever since that day, I was like, oh my God. They're just like, they're yelling at me. You have to sell. I was like, I'm trying, but that was so cool.
I'm ruining the moment.
Yeah. But ever since that, I was like, man, I think I could land on my feet. Like, I'm legit feel like I'm a cat. I think I could do this, bitch. So one of my first matches outside of WWE, I told a homie, I said, yeah, I'm gonna give you the Hurricanrana and land on my feet. And he was like, what do you mean land on your feet? I said, yeah, I'm just gonna land on my feet. And he was like, you can't do that. And I was like, watch me. And then fucking I did it. So it's one of my big things that I like to do. I don't do it in every match, but I'll bust it out. And I remember doing it then. I saw Danny fell and I just looked at the crowd and I was like, well, time to light it up. Boom, jump to the top and gave him my favorite move that I love doing, the shooting star press, which is, you know, what people come to see. If you come to see Lince, the final thing you want to see is him hit that shooting star press. So
how the motion go against?
Yeah.
With the biting of the lip and everything, like
It's a good work. Ab
give me all
exercise,
of
bro. I just did it. My abs hurt just doing it 3 times right there.
Man,
Like,
but let me tell you,
man.
man. I can tell you right now, man. It's one thing that also makes doing your job, especially when you're on the grind, better is when you do it with friends and people you consider brother. I love doing it with my brother right here. You see, I get it wrong sometimes too, but
Shit, I just pointed at myself.
but let's talk about another brotherhood that it seems like you had with when it came to the whole Lucha house party, and tell me about the just the chemistry between you guys, man, and I know you guys, I know you talked about the music, but how did you feel when you guys were in the ring together? What was that like?
For sure. So, little backstory: Kalisto, I've known before WWE. I met him probably 2008 or 9 when he was like very young in wrestling too, out in Chicago. I have a crazy picture here in my office of like us when we first really met. And ever since then, like I said, you can meet somebody and you could be like, that guy's got something, and like he's like special. Like I think he's gonna make it, and he did. So once we got to WWE, I felt very comfortable with him. He felt very comfortable with me because we knew each other, and we already had that bond. And Grand Metallic, I'd known him through only wrestling, like YouTube videos, because everybody would put out these YouTube videos of fucking Grand Metallic, one of the best wrestlers in the world. I always will vouch for Grand, and I will say, yo, he can do some fucking incredible things. Like I see people emulating this dude still today, right now, like people who are on top of the world doing a lot of things that he does. And I'm like, well, we know who the original is. And I always will comment anytime he posts about something that he does, I'll post original. So like I said to you earlier, I had got in trouble with WWE. So I got sent home. And when I got back, I had saw that they weren't doing nothing with Kalisto and Grand Metallic. And I saw this perfect triangle of like, man, what he don't got, I got, and what I don't got, he got. And like this like perfect blend of like an extreme yin yang, yin yang yang, like, yin yang yang, yin yang yang, something. And I had suggested, I said, hey, look, you could put us together and we'd be like a male version of Charlie's Angels or Ninja Turtles, where we all got something, different personalities, but we bring something to the table. And we kicked it off, dude. Like we legit kicked it off, like killed it in 205 Live to the point where we were having fun. That picture that you showed of me wearing the Liu Kang tights, that was when Mortal Kombat 11 came out. This is at a house show in Europe. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to wrestle with these tights on because, this is the only time I can't wear this on TV. But I just remember we're all having fun, man. A lot of laughing. Anytime somebody got hurt, one of the brothers always picked us up and made sure we got to the hospital or carried our bags or whatever. Like I would do anything for those dudes. Like, and I know they would do anything for me. And at the end of the day, we always see eye to eye. We always have been and always will have each other's back. And that's a brotherhood that I'm glad I had, because I got 2 other brothers, but I think I'm closer legit with these other dudes than I have been with any of my 2 brothers,
Right. So let me know, because there was something that happened. You talked about the first time you and Kalisto faced each other, and if I do remember correctly, that was around the time when they made the Kalisto heel turn. Am I correct?
So, okay, no, the first time would have been they were doing these tournaments to crown a new cruiserweight champion. And that was the first time that me and him had wrestled each other, was during that round. We never wrestled ever since, like one-on-one since then. We've always wrestled in a team, whether it was tag or trios. But that's where the program was ending. Like we were supposed to go wrestle each other the following week on SmackDown. But honestly, man, I think it was like a little setup for homie, because like shortly after he got like released. So I think it was a lot of like just talking and blowing smoke up his ass and like telling him that, yeah, you're gonna have a match, and then like no shit ever happens, and then they get released or whatever. So, but that would be a match that I would love to have again, me and Kalisto outside of WWE, without the handcuffs. And I know I've wrestled Grand Metallic before at an NXT house show that nobody will ever see. I have one picture to prove it, but that's a match that I would love to have like in Mexico. And I would again love to wrestle as a tag team with my dudes and wrestle any 3 guys that would love to get the smoke anytime. But you know, at the end of the day, it just comes to interest, and everybody's doing their own thing right now, and I'm having fun, and it just has to come up to like the right time, the right place, and like the right amount of money. But never say never, man. But yeah, I'll do anything for those dudes.
Definitely. Talking about doing anything and everything. That
I can do
elimination
everything.
chamber match, man.
Woo!
So
Bro.
you're like scaling the cage, climbing up and stuff, and then you like go all the way to the top and you swinging and you swinging, and then you just hit one of them from just off the top onto everybody else. Like, what was that damn moment like? What was going through your head? Like, oh, I'm doing this, I'm doing this, I'm doing this. There I go. Like, how do you get ready for a spot like that? Like,
You don't, bro. You don't. So okay, check this. This is how that went down. 3 days before that, me and my girl at the time, we went to this trampoline spot that had this trapeze swing and into a pit. And so I was like, you know what? Let me just try this. So I kept swinging and like throwing myself into the pit. And then one time I swung and I did the shooting star press into the pit, landed on my feet. I was like, damn, I wonder if I could like land on my stomach. So I did it again, landed on my stomach. So I was like, you know what? I think if I could get like some kind of swinging motion, I think I could do the same idea in the elimination chamber a couple of days from now. Because at that time, me and my partner Dorado, yep, that was so crazy, man. We'll go back to that picture in a second. Take that shit off real quick. me and Dorado or Grand Metallic, we felt some kind of way because we just felt like they needed a team and they just, hey, insert the luchas here, let them do something cool and then like get out. There was no investment in us, but I told him, I pulled him aside. I was like, hey, we're going to be the first ones eliminated, but I want everybody, fuck this rest of this pay-per-view, fuck everything else. I want everybody to be talking about you and me and how we should have won this match. And like everything that we did was the most incredible thing. Fuck everybody else. Like, we got to go ahead and kill this. Plus it was in Philadelphia, like my home area. Like, you know, I had friends and family there to come see me. It was the last pay-per-view before COVID. I didn't know it was the last pay-per-view before COVID. Nobody did. But, you know, it was hot. Like Philadelphia is always hot. So we show up, you know, Grand Metallic has his idea and I have mine. I said, yeah, I'm going to climb up and I'm going to go to the very top while you guys are fighting. And I'm going to just, you know, please catch me. But the people we were talking to, the agents, you know, they're a little bit older. So when I told them that, they're like, looked at me goofy ass, like, yo, are you serious? Like, that's kind of dangerous. I said, bro, we don't have nothing else in this match. And like, I'm not leaving this match just another fucking like jabroni. Like, this is my WrestleMania moment. Like, if anything out of my WWE career, I want people to always be like, yo, what's up with that WrestleMania or that elimination chamber match? And at least have a good story. So one of the producers he didn't want me to do it. IRS didn't want me to do it. He was like, if you want to do it, you go talk to Vince. And I think he was trying to test me, thinking that I was like just like a young guy and be like, oh no, never mind. Yeah, I was like, yo, let's go. You want me to say it or you want to talk? Because let's do it. And bro, I saw that in his face. Like, he didn't want to go, but he was like, all right, I'll take you. And I remember Vince sitting in Gorilla talking to Bruce Pritchard. And IRS like, hey, he has an idea. He wants to explain it. And I looked at this old man, dude, and I was like, look, here's the idea, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to flip off of it. Everybody's going to catch me. Elimination going to happen. I'm going to do it good. I'm going to do it safe. And everybody going to be talking about it. And he looked at me like, and then he looked at IRS and he's like, what you think? And IRS was like, yeah, he says he can do it. I think he can. And then he's like, all right, what you think? And he was like, yo, he stuck his hand out. Yeah, I was like, IRS, you piece of, you already said
like, for real, like, that's not what you said, motherfucker. That's why we here.
But bro, Vince put his hand out. He's like, all right, go ahead and do it. Put his hand out, shook my hand, and I walked out knowing that I'm about to fucking create history right now. Come here, baby. That's my son real quick.
Hey,
my baby right here. He
What's
stayed
going
home.
Going on.
So when we went out there, I was in the pod. And then it started clicking. Everybody started realizing, like, oh, he said he's gonna flip. They just thought I was just gonna jump off of the pod or whatever. So they were trying to talk me out of it, like, yo, Vince said no, but I'm pretending I can't hear. I'm just like, I'm like,
I'm climbing.
Yeah, I hear your ass, but I don't hear your ass, Briz. So then all of a sudden, prior to that spot, dude, I fucked up my right ankle, like legit, all the tendons in my right ankle, my toes, like everything was smashed. Like I got everything. I was out for about 8 weeks after that elimination chamber because what happened was I went to go springboard on one of the Usos, but somebody had pushed me and I went to go grab the cage, but I grabbed it like Spider-Man and I slipped through, but I hung upside down and my whole foot went like totally straight, bro. So I felt everything rip, and the only thing that saved me was my boot. So, but still, I ended up later on in that match, 10 minutes later, I ended up climbing the cage. And I hadn't seen the cage before that because if I saw the cage before that, I think I would have chickened out, honestly. So the first time I saw the cage was the first time in the ring, bro. Like legit.
Jeez.
So I start to climb and I yell to the ref. I go, how high am I? And he goes, 26 feet. And I was like, oh. Damn.
Well, I'm up here.
Yeah, right there. If you look, keep it on there. I couldn't go one more block over because there was nothing to hang on, but I would have definitely made it to the top. But I got freaked out at this point because I looked down and I was like, oh, if I do a shooter, I think I'm going to land on this rope and eat shit. So that's why I started swinging really hard because I wanted to go out toward the middle. And yeah, dude, like looking at that picture, it's so crazy because it's like so iconic, like everything from the WWE logo, everybody looking up. I remember the crowd legit, they knew they were about to fucking see either somebody get killed or they're going to see the sickest thing they've ever saw in their life. And thank God it was option number 2 because I was on the end of that. And this is my, you know, my legacy in WWE, bro. This is the thing that they always will play over and over when they do Elimination Chamber. After showing the pods being smashed and, you know, people being slammed on the outside, they're going to show my ass flying into the middle of the ring. And yeah, that's it.
I was like, yeah, he a fool for that one. But yeah, all right, for sure. I'm with it. If he gonna do it and he can make it, then he gonna do it right. Like for sure, let's do it. Because I was while you was climbing up, I was like, what is he doing? Like, you know, when people are climbing, you know, you always like, okay, they're gonna go on top of the pod. Yeah. But you jumped off the pod earlier in the match and things like that. I'm like, all right, cool. So when you went up again, I'm like, he going back off the pod again? What he gonna do this time? But then when you passed it and kept going, I'm like, oh my god, what are you doing?
I will say this though, this is how like legit crazy I think I am, and to be a wrestler, you have to be kind of crazy. But I was, and as crazy as this sounds, I was 100% committed to like smashing my legs or like going out that way. Like that's how I, you know, this is what I signed up for. It's not like nobody told me to do it. This was my idea. I already saw how it was going to play out in my head, and that was one of the scenarios. And luckily, like I said, the only thing that I got hurt before that that spot happened. So that spot I didn't get hurt, and then you know that's my legacy, man.
I'm already knowing. You had to win in the back, and you and Kalisto had that talk. Like, but it wasn't my ladder spot though, because I think y'all had. Yeah, y'all had some of the biggest moments.
He had a ladder spot. Yeah, he had the ladder spot, and I had the cage spot. His is sick. That ladder spot, I remember watching. I watched it live, and I was like, that shit was sick. No, bro, I will always put over or give somebody props if they deserve it. Like, you know, they deserve it. If it was legit awesome, then it was awesome. Like they should hear that it was awesome. It's always psychology wise, this always feels good to like get a compliment, especially knowing that you put your heart and soul into something and somebody else appreciates it. It only needs one person, you know, one person to lift up another person. And yeah, when that happened, I texted him right away. I was like, that's it, bro. That's gonna be in a video game. That's gonna be the highlight reel for Kalisto. Not the championships that you won, bro. Like that spot right there will always be like the Kalisto, and that spot will always be the Lince Dorado spot.
Yeah, definitely.
Going back real quick, I'll say this. I remember the night before the Elimination Chamber, Jeff Hardy did an interview, and he said that he wanted to climb to the top of the cage and jump down, but he had said in the interview that it was impossible, and somebody had sent me that clip after I did it, and I was like, oh, well, I wish he would have sent me that before, because I definitely would have done it.
I would have did that instead.
Yeah, right? But at the end of the day, dude, like I did it, and nobody else could take that away from me.
Because if I'm
Definitely.
correct, I think he did. It wasn't in the Elimination Chamber, but I think he try something like that in the Hell in a Cell, and it was versus Randy Orton, and he was hanging from the cell, and that's when he slipped.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so.
It was
That
Hell
Hell
in
in
a
a
Cell
Cell
versus Randy.
is big, man. That Hell in a Cell ain't no joke either. I thought it was big from TV, but it is
Oh yeah,
massive.
it's massive. It's massive. I caught a show
Man.
when they were out here in LA. I think when Alberto Del Rio came back and won the US strap from John Cena, and then you had Brock and Undertaker in there for the main event, I think, or something like that. But I was sitting front row. Talk about nosebleed seats. I've never sat nosebleed until I went to this guy's first event. It was a SummerSlam, and I was like, well, since you want to go, I'll do it with you. Because I always sent front row or somewhere close, like in the 100s or something. I got to be up close. So I'm like, man. But yeah, I was definitely like, we actually sat close for War Games, sitting front row.
That
So we
cage
were
was
actually
big,
able to see that massive
Elbow
structure.
Hell
It
in
was
a
just
Cell
like,
cage is big. Yeah, I don't think it's
man.
as high though. I don't think it's as high as the Hell in a Cell though.
Nah,
Nah.
not at all. Not at all.
Yeah.
Not at all. But speaking of WWE, before we get off the subject real quick, like first of all, when release time came, like how did that go about? Like did they handle business properly, or did it just come funny style? Like did you see it coming?
Well, yeah, because I had asked for it. Me and my partner had asked for it. We showed up to one of the Raws and we had some creative, not dispute, but like we were told something and then like it was something else, and then we were told something, it was something else, and then by the time we got to that week, we were just kind of fed up with it, and we just asked them. I had about 2 years left on my contract. I think Dorado did too, and we had asked like, hey, do you guys see anything? Like, do you guys have an idea, or are we just the Lucha guys? And they're like, no, we don't really have anything. You're just the Lucha guys. And I said, well, you know what? Thank you for this opportunity, but this kind of sucks. I think I'm asking for my release, and my partner did too. And we were home for about maybe like 3 weeks until they finally called us. I was playing Warzone, and I wasn't surprised because again, I had asked for it, and I knew at the end of the day, at the end of the tunnel, it's going to be light. And I'm a survivor, bro, and I'm driven, and I know that whatever I set my mind to, I'm gonna do, and all I need is air in my lungs and a new day to just reset and do some stuff. So, they handle business just fine. I had a good relationship with everybody, and everybody. It wasn't like, there's heat leaving. There wasn't like we're on bad terms. We're actually on really good terms. Just right now, I just want to have fun. I want to do my thing. And when I'm ready to return in any capacity, whether it's a wrestler or a trainer or producer, or whatever the case would be, I'll be ready for that. But like I said, right now, I still have way more to do in my wrestling career. I'm not done. Age ain't nothing. As long as my body says I can go, like I said, I'm good to go.
Yeah. I did notice, like as you said, so pretty much as you're saying, like for lack of a better term, like the release kind of went smooth. So like you already wanted to leave,
Mhm.
But you could say that there has been a lot of, since the releases started, there's been a lot of I guess there's some misconceptions when it comes to fans on how things went. So how was it on the receiving end of that? Like, because at that time, everybody was just, oh my god, I can't, everybody thought every release was like the worst. How do you say, the worst situation possible? Yeah, the worst experience possible.
Cuts.
Yeah,
I think if I hadn't asked for it, then I think it may have been like oh man, like what did I do? Like, especially I gave them every opportunity to make something out of me with their help, So
right.
I knew I was doing my job, and I also knew they were doing their jobs, and that's why I just didn't. There's no animosity toward each other. I can't really speak on anybody else and their release and their feelings and how they do it or how they feel. But for me personally, and in any experience, whether it's positive or negative, I always take those experience and like, how do I learn from this? Not like feel pity for myself or like, damn, I'm fucking in a rut. Like even my situation right now at home, I'm like, at first, the first couple of days, I'm like, man, this shit sucks. But at the end of the day, I'm like, you know what? Fucking go do something. Cause like now you free or whatever the case is. Like, and like in WWE, like now I'm free. I can do whatever the fuck I want and not have to answer to anybody besides my kids when know, they need me. They know the world stops in my life, and I just say, "Yo, you want a fucking glass of water? I'll
It's
stop.
snack time, Dad.
What
Where's
you
my
want?
snack at?
Right here, Prince. Right here, King. I got you, dog. Because they my equals, man. I don't let them. I don't let them walk behind me. I let them walk next to me. Like they're always my equals. Like you know. But yeah, that experience that didn't hurt me, man. Didn't it made me better? You know, like every other situation makes me better.
Right.
So it's
And
callback season. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what
man,
your relationship with Triple H is, but Triple H makes that phone call. What is Lince Dorado's answer?
Shit, just give me the same money. I'll do whatever the fuck y'all want. Now that I know how y'all work, and I'm ready to retire. And yes, I'm master. Whatever you want. Nah, hell no. Fuck that. I was just joking. Nah, I mean, I would have to go back, but my relationship with Triple H Briz is like very good. In fact, one of the first times I ever saw him without my mask, he was like, "Damn, like why you wear the mask? Like you know, you kind of like." He didn't call me a good looking dude, but he was like, "You."
And
No,
sexy. Lince, what's up, man? Take them
he
mask
gave me like,
off.
he gave me this compliment, and to me, I was like, "Damn, that's kind of a better compliment than being sexy as fuck." Where he was like, "Man, you look like a dude that would stab me in the back with a knife," and I was like, "Nah, dog, I would stab you in the front with a knife." And he was like, "I like that." And like ever since then, I was like, "Damn, he thinks I'm like that dude that's like grimy and like scrappy." And I was like, "All right, he knows like I'm legit, you know." And like
right.
I've always had great conversations with him, you know. So if he ever were to call me, he would know what he's getting himself into again. But at the same time, I'd also would trust that his vision is something different than it was with his father-in-law, which it is, bro. His mindset
Definitely.
is about a game change, like everything. Like everybody wants change right away, and it's not gonna happen in
Yeah,
these
it's gonna take
times.
some time.
Man, process.
He's doing it. You could see it, man. Like talking, like anybody who's really talked to him, Stephanie and Shane, know that those three people legit are the fucking coolest guys and girl I've ever met in my life in WWE, bro. And I met a lot of cool motherfuckers there.
Man.
I'll take that.
So and you mentioned about Triple H mentioned the mask. So if the call came, and not just from WWE, but from any company anywhere, if the call came and said, you know, let's say I think we might want to go the direction of unmasking. What's the process? Have you ever gone unmasked? Like just, you know,
There's probably 2 matches that you would ever see online ever if you've really looked hard. Doesn't say Lince, like you gotta like search. You'll see 2 matches of me unmasked.
Came
But
under 2 different names.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
So if I've manifested this whole career. Everything that I've experienced, I've already known it was going to happen at a very young age. Like I've already experienced this in one other life. I feel like so I already know what's going to happen. So I know another thing I'm manifesting is wrestling one day without the mask. But again, it would have to be on my terms. And like I don't mind a 50-50 creative split, but actually it would have to be a 51-49%, where 51 goes to my favor. Because it's my brand, it's literally my character I've created. It's literally it's my life, man. I've only ever wrestled on big shows and big stages as this character, and for me to say, yeah, I'll wrestle on mass or come in, no, I would have to do it on my own terms with the story that I would want, you know, with their input, their creative, you know, their production and everything. But yeah, I've manifested that. It's gonna happen one day, dude. I don't know where. I want to lose it somewhere in Mexico, but if it's like if it's like a WWE, like that's definitely another thing that we had discussed while I was in WWE between Vince and Hunter. So you know, these are all things that everybody is already aware of. It's just, you know, a matter of time, money, how do we do it kind of thing, and why should we do it? Because there's a lot of guys who lose their mask for no reason, and
Yeah.
I don't want to be that.
Yeah.
I want mine to be like, oh wow, like I can't believe that happened, and that's why he lost his match or his mask.
I think the latest, I'll say lost reason why the mask was taken off, because it went off a little bit, but you know, I don't know, it just didn't go. I don't think where they thought it could go was the Sin Cara. Remember when they had the double Sin Cara? Yeah,
I like that one, but
You
that
did?
was I like that one, but that was because it was like the first time the traditional mass versus mass of Mexico style happened in WWE. But after that, they would just rinse repeat, insert 2 other wrestlers and then do the same story. But I appreciate it, and I saw the direction and what they could have gotten out of it. But I can see how some people think like the execution wasn't as well. But I got to wrestle that Sin Cara, the original Sin Cara, this weekend in Mexico. Yeah, Mystico. And that dude was great, man. Like,
yeah,
he gets a bad rap, but that dude was great to work with. He was mad chill, very professional, and like killed it. Like he's a megastar out there, and he gets it. But at the end of the day, like he wasn't like like hard to work with. At the end of the day,
right?
It's called a bad rap. So before we wrap this up, what I'm saying, I'm gonna spin it to Klassick after I get into this real quick. Every time I interview somebody, I like to do something different that I've never done before, and I've done plenty of that this episode. But I'm gonna bring to you something that I might drop on everybody because it's kind of interesting. So just gonna do a spot fest of rapid fire moves, aka one word name drop associations. So I'm gonna say a name, and you give me one word that bodies the whole idea of what you think and feel about this professional wrestler. Sound good?
Yep, let's do it.
Okay, so Kalisto. I'm gonna eat this cookie while you
started.
You said one word, right? One word.
Yeah, one word. I may even let you cheat and use 2 words.
Rubik's Cube.
Grand Metalik.
Awesome.
Bandino.
Let me go back real quick. Phenomenal.
Bandito.
The future.
Ooh, nice.
Dragon Lee.
Smart.
Pentagon Jr.
Business.
Rey Phoenix.
Spectacular.
Rey Mysterio. Oh yeah, they gonna get harder.
Ray from Ray. I see what you did there.
So many words. I'm gonna do Overdone.
Juventud Guerrero, the Juice.
Juicy.
Psychosis.
The fucking my favorite.
The fucking my favorite. You are the fucking my favorite. Oh man, Eddie Guerrero.
Legend.
Aha, Mil Mascaras.
OG.
J Klassick.
Classic.
King Mac Millie.
The Macus of the Milliest.
Lince Dorado.
The Lucius Littius.
The Lucius Littius, man. Look like a Klassick having some computer love problems, but his computer is up, and his computer is up.
Damn, I need that soundbite. I need that one.
Oh wait, I think he came back. Oh, your computer done.
Stop talking about it. Stop talking about it.
Okay, you hit me with it. All right, you hit me with the mark button. You smart.
Oh, I can point right.
I heard it for the first time. Like, I need that one.
I told him your computer was being the mark.
You know what? Yeah, this one to my goddamn Mac.
I'll take it.
Damn.
I'll take it.
But I heard. Thank you for naming me Klassick. Thank you. That's exactly how it started. That's how it all started.
Right,
Thank you.
Yes,
So generic as I eat my cookie.
Oh, well, you go ahead, Millie, man.
You gotta put cheese whiz on that or something like.
That's a vanilla cream cookie. I'm not putting no cheese on that.
Oh, I thought that was a cracker, like a double cracker.
Yeah, no. I just didn't want to put the whole thing in my mouth. Pause. You know.
So as we get ready, man, to get on out of here, the last question we really like to ask, and we kind of word it a little bit different, but seeing how you have already, just let's just be honest, you're lighting a fire in the indies and just everywhere you go, So at the end of the day, when you are ready to, call it quits, be done with wrestling, what is the stamp that you want to make on this world, or that you want to make in the wrestling world? Like, what's the lasting thought that you want of Lince Dorado when it's all said and done?
For sure. I think honestly, I want people to be like, damn, that was a good dude to be around, and that dude was like just a good dude,
Definitely,
so, man. And fans to like wrestlers, everybody's like, I'm not one to like value anybody's opinion. My circle is very small, but from my kids to my like best friends, those are the only ones that really their opinion matters to me. But at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, when they go, damn, Lince was a really good wrestler, it makes me even feel better when people be like, yeah, but he was actually a really good dude too, man. Like story with like your nephew, and just experiences that I've experienced with like good people, whether they needed it or not. That to me is the most important thing, man. Just being a good person.
Most definitely, man. And I'll tell you another thing that you'll always be known for, and that is killing it in the industry, bruh. That's always be known. Always be known for.
Man, I took that at Tampa in Tropicana Field, and I remember they said it was a lyric in a song that said, like, this industry was a box that I wasn't going to jump in it. And I was like, yeah, I wasn't going to jump in it, but I will crush the fuck out of it. And that's where that picture, that setting came from, man. Yeah. I remember that. That was good.
You got Lucha lit on that box.
Hey, hella lit.
Man, but as we line up to get on up out of her, it's been grand, it's been well, always appreciate you. You done won us over. We are definitely fans, and we usually let people know when they come and chat with us, they become family and always remain family. Whatever you need, just holler at us, let us know. It don't stop here. It's only the beginning. It's only the beginning. But let these folks know, as I'm searching for my damn self, there we go, where they can find you at.
Yo, check me out. You can find me on Instagram, Lince_Dorado, Twitter, Lucha Lit Dorado, Lucha Dorado LD, YouTube, Lucha Lit Station. But if you want to just one-stop shop, everything, where to shop, all my videos, where I'm at, where all the booking information is, just check out luchalit.com, baby.
Yeah, it's all there. Trust me. I went and I looked at everything, the merch show on and everything. Just gotta give me a Lucha Lit shirt, all that. Like, man, that's the turn up.
I got you. I appreciate you guys, though, man. For real, this was an awesome experience, and like I said, thank you for being flexible, Briz. Y'all were great, man. Appreciate y'all.
Man, definitely appreciate
it's
that.
It's been an honor, for sure.
We try to do the same thing that you look forward to doing as well, just giving people the right energy, making sure that they feel comfortable and that they feel like they are where they are supposed to be, and just have a down-to-earth conversation, you know what I'm saying? So in order to catch these, y'all already know what to do. Subscribe to that Smark Psychology podcast YouTube, you know what I'm saying? My tongue from them cookies. Follow us on Twitter. So follow us on Twitter, Smark Psych Pod. Follow us on Instagram, Smark Psychology. On Facebook, Smark Psychology Podcast. A little tongue twister that I came up with. Say that.
I like that though. That's
fast. Smart Psychology. You like it for real?
Smart Psychology Podcast. Smart Psychology Podcast. Smart Psychology.
Oh man,
it's a good tongue twister though.
The way this brain works, like I said, we gonna definitely chop because I'm just as lost in the creative space as you are, just in other realms. So it's like I definitely get you, but just man, to know that other people love it and appreciate it, that makes the therapy so much better. You know, so much better. But
and you know what?
Go ahead.
But before we got out of here, we gotta do one more thing, bro.
What we got to
you know,
do?
especially since Lince is our first ever interview,
Mhm.
we gotta hit you with the Red Cup Awards, bro. That's right.
Man.
You get the whole Red Cup Awards, bro.
Cup
You
up,
get
cup
the
up, cup up,
cup
cup
bro.
up, or toe cup. You know what I'm saying? Let's
Yeah. Get the cup. Yeah.
Put that in
But I
there.
do that after this.
Man, put that in the
Yeah.
I
air.
appreciate y'all guys, bro, man. I appreciate the award. I want to shout out to everybody who voted for me. I want to shout out to everybody, all the people that I didn't step on but helped lift me up, because y'all the next. And shout out to the world, baby. Let's stay Lucha lit.
Man,
That's how we
y'all
do it.
already know what it is. Let's see if I get this right.
Oh,
First shot! I had to think about it. I had to stop and think about it. That has been J Klassick. Go ahead and let them know what your name is.
yeah, that's right. It's been your boy J Klassick. Oh, that's right. Klassick, because your boy is so sick with it. And this right here has been my brother, King Mac Milli.
The value that allows you the opportunity to roll with me, and down below has been Mr. Lucha Lit himself.
Lucha.
Get my lip quiver on.
See, it's a thing, man. It's a thing. I'm telling you, it's a thing. I'm gonna get everybody out at the next Cali show. I need y'all to go around and tell everybody when the homegirl's about to announce my name after the 2010-2011 Mr. Puss in Boots. She's about to say, I want everybody to say it just like that.
I'm gonna fuck people up because they're gonna be like, why does this dude keep walking around here quivering his lip in my ear?
Hey, it's gonna get as lit as Wilmer Valderrama's "Ooh Wee." It's gonna get as lit as that. That's how lit it's gonna be.
That might be it right there. Your next match, and I'm there for it. I'm just be in the back. I'm like,
Yes, let's do it. It's gonna be lit.
yeah, word. It's been a pleasure. Y'all already know where to catch us at Smark Psychology Podcast. We out.
We out. Deuces.